What is the most popular thing in video games? I mean, besides shitty Fortnite. Well, and besides dumb fuck loot boxes. Actually, I'm just gonna move down this list here. The answer is sequels. It's sequels! We love video game sequels. And how about the sequel to a sequel? Oh, I better stop. I'm about to cream myself. It's the top 10 video game trilogies. Now I know what you're thinking. How can you only pick 10? Well, watch me, bitches. But first, some quick rules. Number 1. We are looking at trilogies only. So any game series that has moved on to 4 or more is disqualified. Spin-offs and prequels are fine, but as soon as the main canon storyline moves to 4, you're out of here. Sorry, Gears, Uncharted, God of War, Mass Effect. Well, you get the idea. Number 2. If the game changes in style or genre from another, it is a new series. Fallout? Sorry, 1 and 2 are different game than 3, so you're gone. Number 3. There can be a trilogy inside an overall franchise. Spoiler alert, we have a couple of those. And finally, I have to have played the games for them to be eligible. So, let's get rolling. But first, some honorable mentions. Dragon Age. Ugh. This is a series I have tried multiple times to get into, and I just can't do it. I'm sure it has great character building, as is BioWare's signature, but the combat is just boring. It fucking sucks. I'm looking at you, Origins. Now, Dragon Age 2 and Inquisition are a little better in combat, but 2 lacks the character building, and Inquisition has serious pacing issues. So I'm going to leave them off the list. Diablo would probably make the list if I had played all 3 of them. I was damn tempted to put it on with just 2 and 3 alone, but that just isn't fair. This is a series that has only improved its combat depth and surprisingly awesome story. I wish I could do it, but I didn't play 1. Poor Blizzard. Back in early 2000, Metroid made the switch from the 2D Metroidvania to a first-person shooter, and by all accounts, they are amazing. I don't know if it's true, because unfortunately, my boner for all things Nintendo is not what it once was. Luckily, there is Viagra. But this is one series I have serious regrets about not playing. Ugh, where to start? Okay, so Kingdom Hearts is actually one of my favorite games of all time, and I think the second is right in line. It's actually enough to make the list, despite the incoherent story, basic combat, way too many spin-offs, and the disappointing trash pile that is Kingdom Hearts 3. 1 and 2 are still good enough that it makes the list, but it will climb no higher than 10. It must be my unnatural love for Disney. There aren't many games that I believe rival the straight visceral melee combat of God of War, but Ninja Gaiden is definitely right there. The first 2 play so fast, but not button mashy like at all. Not to mention all the weapons gave both a ton of variety. Then 3 came out and gutted everything that made the first 2 such a joy to play. They then realized the fuck up and re-released 3 with many of the missing weapons. Oh, you guys wanted those nunchucks? Well, fuck me. It's okay, they put them back, and so it's back on the list. Borderlands is not my favorite series. In fact, I find sometimes its in-your-face edge humor a bit much. I think I'm being kind there. However, the gunplay has gotten better with each game, and I lost so many hours in their stupid fucking world. Now, while 2 is the high point in the series for storytelling, there is enough consistency throughout the series to earn the 8 spot. Oh, it was a golden age for Rare, and a rebirth for Donkey Kong into a Nintendo staple. The first game had such a cool art design and soundtrack that would actually rival Mario's. All of this to complement a fun platformer as well. The best part is that somehow the next game only gets better in the series, adding new mechanics with each entry. Honestly, it's a real ditty of a time. Here's your series within a series. Modern Warfare revolutionized the multiplayer scene when it came to shooters, especially Modern Warfare 2 and the online. Tack on a surprisingly engaging story mode with more memorable cinematic moments than I can even count. So despite the weaker entry of Modern Warfare 3, it's a benchmark for shooters, even if I suck ass at them. I absolutely adore the first Dead Space. Those necromorphs are so cute, and they only get cuter as the series goes along. In all seriousness, the first is damn near perfect. The second is awesome as well, especially those damn monster babies. Now the third is the weakest, but I did have customizable weapons and co-op. It's still a very solid entry, and you throw in those cutie pie necromorphs, and you will get a top 5 spot. Just to be clear, we are talking 3, 4, and 5. 1 and 2 were a different genre of game. Also, 1 and 2 weren't good enough to make the list. But 3 revolutionized open world games. One of the first games to give player a full playground of destruction and mayhem. 4 took that idea and caked it in reality and realism along with some improved gunplay. 5 doubled down on the size and making the world feel alive. On top of that, GTA Online gave the games as a service idea some real legs, and has sustained the game for almost 10 years in countless re-releases. I'm really looking forward to GTA 5 on PlayStation 10. Let's get something out of the way. Bloodborne, Sekiro, and Demon Souls do not count. Dark Souls is its own thing, and armed with that, it's easy to see how this trilogy makes top 5. Each world is intricately crafted and infused with obscure story for players to uncover at their own pace. Throw in some of the best bosses the video game industry has ever seen, and you have a series that created its own genre. And for one more point in its favor, there is no series on this list that is more satisfying to conquer. I know, my Bioshock boners. I don't care. The series is amazing. In fact, if 2 weren't so weak, it would be number 1 with a bullet. But 2's story just really didn't do it. I'm also taking gameplay into account, and Bioshock's gameplay is not top of the league. But I'm also taking atmosphere and story into account, and there is nothing better. However, there is one better trilogy. From start to finish, this series is beyond solid. They are all Game of the Year contenders. 1 has the world building and revolutionary combat system. 2 took this and opened up the world for the player to get lost in the lore of Batman and his amazing rogue gallery. And 3 gave you a Batmobile. Now, Origins is a prequel, so it doesn't count. But for you fuckers who think Origins is weak, you can gargle my pudding. Let's hear it for Batman. How'd I do, guys? Well, I know I nailed it, but did I miss your favorite trilogy? I'm curious to know what it was. If you have anything different, let me know down in the comments below.